Programming is very important in software development. If you are a good programmer and you can solve any problem on time or before time, still you are thinking that there is something that is missing in your development career. Or you always get a feedback from your manager that hey, you are doing well, but you must improve yourself. So in this video, we will talk about what are those points which you can follow to improve your productivity or your career as a software developer apart from the programming. Of course, the programming is very important, and with each version, you will also have to upgrade yourself and you will have to learn all the concepts on time so that you can implement those things in your development. But there is one thing that you will always have to remember: programming is just a part of software development. This is not everything. Just like every other important parts in software development, about the thinking, about the planning, UI designing, testing, deployment, and the customer handling, the customer support, programming is also just a part. So in this video, we will talk about some points that you can follow to improve your career or productivity apart from the programming languages. For the people who do not know me, my name is Nitish Kosik and I am a Microsoft MEP in Developer Technologies, and I'm a developer since more than 10 years. And these points that I will talk about in this point are something that I always follow and I feel they are very important to improve your productivity. So let's talk about all of them one by one. The first point is understanding of the tools that you will use in your software development. Even if you are very good in programming, until you will know your tools really well, you will not be very productive. What I mean with that, for example, you are a front end developer and you are working on a login page. You know how to work on that particular page and you did your coding and everything is done. But there is no use of your code until other people will use that. It means if you are not able to check in that code or push that code to a version control system, then what is the use of that code? And I have seen some scenarios where people are really good in programming, but they do not know how to use the version control, and because of that, they cannot push the code, and even it takes few days to them. So always think that there is no use of the code that is present in your system. The code will be useful if you have pushed that code to a version control system. So it means apart from programming, these tools are very important. For example, if I talk about the deployment, and over there will be different tools. Sometimes you will have to deploy your code on a virtual machine, sometimes you will have to deploy your code on containers, and sometimes you will have to deploy your code on some web applications. If you do not know the information about all these things, then you will struggle over there. And learning all these tools will help you to understand or improve your productivity. Now let's talk about our second point. This is understanding the requirement. This point I believe is very important. And I have seen so many scenarios where developers do not clear their requirements at the right time. In the requirement gathering meeting, they will not ask the questions. But when they will start the implementation, then they will go to the PO or the related person to ask their questions. And even sometimes this is okay, but what they will do, they will just understand one small part and they will implement that and they will go again. Hey, I have done this part. Now tell me what else I need to do in this particular story. So which is very bad, which impact your performance and your productivity as well. So how can you solve this problem? During the requirement gathering meeting, ask as many questions as you can. If you are having any single doubt, then ask them upfront. And once you have all the clear requirements, then make sure you have everything written in your task or story. And based on that, you must start the implementation. Writing a good code is different, but writing the code which is important for our customers is different. So make sure you always write the code based on the requirement of your business, and then only you will feel that you are very productive. And here is the third point, which I feel is also very important, and this is about searching your problem over the internet. And I always believe that you cannot remember the entire code. You must know the concept, how things are working over there. And about the specific problem, you can search on Google. And it is not only about the Google, you can also use some other AI tools, for example, ChatGPT, or you can use the GitHub Copilot, but make sure you are using them in a specific limit. For example, if you are working for a company where you are not allowed to search on ChatGPT or maybe on GitHub Copilot because of the security issues, these companies do not want you to write that code in these specific tools because they can give the exposure to your code to the outside world, which is something they do not want. And if you know how to search your problem over the internet in a proper way, then I think this can improve your productivity a lot. And the next point, which I believe you must follow, is focus on other developers' PR. What does this mean? For example, in your team, you are having 5 or 10 developers and you all are working on a specific product, right? You are focusing only on your code, you are writing your code very good, you are raising the pull request, and even if you are not getting any review comment over there, you are not focusing on other developers PR. So what is something that you are missing over here? You are missing few things. One is you are not getting the product knowledge. It means if other developers are working on other important parts of that application, right, and if you will focus on their PRs, then you will get to know what they are working on and what are additional features that we are getting in our product. Next thing is you are not the only smart person in your team. There are other developers who are learning new things and they are implementing the new things in the code. The next situation that I feel is developers assume something. Your job is not to assume something, right? Whatever task is given to you, just focus on that. This does not mean that you cannot give your input. Give your input. If you are thinking that there is something that we can improve in our product, then your ideas are always welcome. But instead of implementing them first talk to your senior. First talk to your product owner or the manager or tech lead. There could be different requirements based on the customer. And if your idea is really good, then of course everyone will welcome that idea and they will implement that. But if you are implementing something by assuming, then this is not good. For example, if you are working on a page and you are having some buttons, do not assume what would be the label on that button, whether that text will be a hard code value or you will get it from database or you will get it from some configurations. Whatever questions you have, make sure you have cleared everything in the requirement gathering. So ultimately the point is that do not assume anything. Whatever basic question you have, ask your questions and then only implement it. Next big barrier that I feel in your productivity is not having the proper knowledge of your product that you're working on. There are so many developers who are just focusing only on their work. They are not focusing on what is happening in their product, what is the exact requirement, how the business work, how the customers are getting benefit from our product, what is the use of that. They do not think about that. What they focus on, get the story and write the code and solve the problem. That's it. If you are doing this approach, then you cannot be productive. For initial days, this is okay. Or I would say for some freshers or some junior developers, this could be a good approach. But if you are having few years of experience, then I would say getting the knowledge of your business or product is super important, because based on that you can give your ideas, you can give your input, and then only you will be a productive person over there. Remember, writing a code is not very hard. Anybody can write the code. And you must have also feel this thing that if the major architecture of the product has already been implemented, then so you don't have to introduce anything new over there, right? So there are some basic things that you will just copy paste, make the change over there, and that's it. Anybody can write the code, but if you are understanding your product really well, then only you can be a good developer. Remember, your job is not to write the code, you are a software developer. It means you have to develop the software, and because of that you will have to think about all other perspective as well. The last and seventh point I feel is responsibility. Whatever work you are doing, you must be responsible for that. I have seen so many developers who just work on a problem, they will raise the pull request and that's it. Then they will get so many review comments over there, and most of the time even the basic functionality does not work. So who's responsible for that? You. So how can you improve this problem? First is that whatever code you are doing, make sure you are checking the proper code. There should not be any dummy code. I have seen so many scenarios where developer check-ins the dummy code. For example, you are using console.log method for your debugging purpose, or you are using some hard-coded values for your debugging purpose. And during your commit, you do not check what change you have made. You simply just write a message and just commit. You are responsible for that. Then you will get a review comment that hey, remove it. And these are very basic things but very important points. Next is, if you are getting too many review comments on your pull request, then this is also not good. Remember, the senior people or the higher management will always look on the repository. They will not look at your system, right? They will assume over there that hey, this person is getting 10 comments in every pull request. It means this is not something good. And even the commit, this is the style of the commit. So based on all these things, they will assume your productivity, and based on that thing, the next good thing will happen. And make sure you test your functionality end to end before pushing it to your version control. And that is all. These were 7 points that I believe are very important for every software developer. And if there is something additional that you would like to add to all these points, then of course feel free to add in the comment section below, and I would be more than happy to have them on the channel, because this is all about learning. It is not only about one to many. It is not about I will speak and you will listen. No, it is all about how we all can work as a group over here, and how we all can learn and grow. And make sure to subscribe to this channel to get all these videos notifications on time. That is all in this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.